Hey guys, it is Kinsey Harms here, back with another segment of interviewing University of Georgia athletes. So this is a super special episode because the men and women's track team I got to sit down with and talk to because they just earned their spots in the 2021 NCAA Division I Indoor Championship in Arkansas. So it's going to be March 11th through the 13th. And it was just super fun to talk to them and just see where their head's at leading into the tournament, how they've been affected by COVID, how they've helped keep their mental health in check. And I sat down with Matthew Bowling, Kyle Garland, Imani Carruthers, Anna Hall, and Jasmine Moore. I mean, phenomenal athletes. And I also wanted to talk to the girls a little bit about it being Women's History Month and what it means to them to be a woman in a male-dominated sport. So the first interview that I did was with Jasmine Moore. She's a sophomore. She's so sweet, so talented. And these are all on Zoom. So just be ready. The quality's not great. But yeah, take a listen to what she had to say.
Kind of change the subject in honor of a Women's History Month. I was just curious, what does it mean to you to be a woman in sports and especially track? Are there any type of pressures that you feel, or what motivates you the most being a woman?
Yeah, I would say a lot of people don't appreciate what you do. If you do have a NCAA leading mark or you do a crazy thing, you don't really get the recognition as like a male would. So I definitely do just kind of feel honored that I'm even in the position at UGA.
Or what's the best advice you've ever received?
I would say I would give another athlete, I guess, that looks up to me, is that at the top, sometimes it is lonely and you might not have a lot of people around you, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Not everyone can understand what it's like to want to have the same goals as you, or no one, like sometimes people don't have the same values as you. So I would say it's okay, and as long as you keep doing you and keep doing what makes you happy, that everything will be worth it in the end.
Matthew Boiling up next. This man, I thought I'd ask him a little bit about his TikTok personality, throw all those kind of questions in there. I mean, he's ridiculously talented. They call him every coach's dream. They call him the White Lightning. I really wanted to just hear what he has to say. He's a great interviewer. You can tell he has some practice, and he's only a sophomore. So this will be his first indoor championship, and he's super excited, so here he is.
So, I mean, after shattering Champ Bailey's school record, what are your goals leading into the NCAA championship?
Yeah, for long jump, I've been progressing. I started at like 750 meters and then 776 the next meet, and then 807 this meet, which was the school record. So I really want to try to get to like the 815, 820 range, and hopefully win nationals for long jump.
Tough year for everybody's mental health, but I was curious if y'all have a certain thing that you have developed to help your mental health, or what have you been doing to keep yourself sane?
We're like, no one on the track team goes around like more than 10 people at a time, just because we don't want to get the virus or like give it to another teammate. So we have like a sprint group of 5 people, and we'll watch movies together sometimes, or like go out, get food, and then come back to someone's place, and we'll really just hang out together, and we're like a little family. So it really, having like that friendship with our team helps to keep me sane, at least.
You are about at 1 million followers on TikTok, and I am curious, I know you keep your notifications off, but what has been the most positive thing to come out of that? Because, I mean, you are in a position of influence, and you are so young. So how has that been?
I mean, I guess it's good to know, like, I could be inspiring some people that maybe, like, don't want to continue with track, or are like, oh, like, I'm not going to run in college. What's the point? So ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be able to make a positive influence on the sport, and I feel like I'm really able to do that by like showing my hard work through videos, or like showing myself having a positive attitude. So it's nice to know that I could be like making someone's day.
Anna Hall is the next girl that I wanted to interview. She is also a sophomore. The whole team, at least all the athletes that I interviewed are sophomores. So Anna Hall, I mean, she's super, super good. So is everybody. It's tough when you have a whole team of superstars. So I wanted to also bring in the Women's History Month, what it's like to be a woman in a male-dominated sport. And here's what she had to say about her struggles and what she loves about being a woman.
What is your training going to be like leading up to the championship? And
Yeah, so since SECs, like after doing a multi, usually like you're mentally and physically very tired for a couple days. So the first focus was just recovering from that, especially with like high jumping the next day. It was pretty hard on my legs. So then after we recovered, we got in one really good workouts this week, and then starting tomorrow and Saturday we'll kind of start taking off the load a bit, and it'll just be technique focused and kind of sharpening things up with little activation lifts.
honor of Women's History Month, I was just curious what it means to you to be a woman in sports.
It means so much to me, and especially in like the combined events, which I know there is a lot of discussion about, oh, like why do the girls do less events than the men, but just being in our event where there's like so many different challenges, and it is a totally different event than the men's, and so I don't think of the HEP or the Pence to the men's HEP as any less. It's just like a different event. So just kind of getting to be surrounded by girls in my event that are working so hard to better themselves, and us supporting each other most of the time too, is really, really amazing. And I've just seen the way that sports can change lives, whether girl or boy.
For both of you, but first, Anna, we know that family is not allowed to be at the meet, but then we learned that your dad actually flies to Arkansas and to your tournaments and has watched you win. What does that mean to you?
It means the world to me. My dad, he did the multi as well. So we do kind of have like a special relationship over that, and he has missed some of my meets before for individual events, but he's been very proud of the fact that he's never missed a time when I've done the full thing. He'll be there watching through the window again for nationals. But it definitely means a lot to me being able to see him in the lobby before and know that if I do really good, my dad's right out the door and I can run outside and just give him a hug and celebrate with him. So.
It's actually pretty funny. My dad is very much like Anna's dad. He was also traveling at the meets. So I had my dad there at SECs, and he definitely will be there again for NCAA. So it actually does feel kind of good, as like Anna said, you know, just having the parents there and just kind of being able to celebrate and talk with my dad as well. He wasn't multi-eventer, he wasn't heptathlete or decathlete in his high school career, but he did do track and he understands the sport very well. So just being able to talk with him, it just kind of feels natural.
So Amani Carruthers is the next person I interviewed. She is actually a junior from Chicago. She's a ball of light. Is that a word? I don't really know if that's a word, but she's great. She's super excited. And I asked her a little bit about what it's like to be a woman in sports, and she was very vocal about how she loves being a woman, and I think every girl should listen to what she has to say and really take it to heart. So this is actually what she said.
So I was just going to talk about it's Women's History Month, and I was curious what it means to you to be a woman in sports and a woman in track.
It's amazing. I feel like we have like a superpower. Like it's just like being in a sport, especially track and field, is just something that's very empowering. Like not everybody can run track and field, so it's just like to have a talent like this. I'm very grateful, and also to have these other women, strong women that are my teammates, you know, coaches. All of this, like, it's very empowering and encouraging. And being a woman is just like people don't, you know, really see a woman as being strong, like physically strong and stuff like that. So me to just walk in there, arms all, you know, strong and just looking like an athlete, it's like, wow, like it's amazing. I enjoy it.
What are probably the hardest things about being a woman in sports?
I feel like it's a certain expectation. Like I feel like women aren't seen as good as men, so it's always just like it feels like we're kind of like competing against them when it really shouldn't be. You know, men have their sports, women have their sports. We're all good, you know, we're all strong and we have a talent. So we all should just embrace it and just, you know, support each other and just enjoy the sport.
And to not only prioritize your physical health, but also your mental health. I mean, it's been a tough year for everybody. So what have you been doing?
Yes. Man, this year was definitely something that I was focused on, like mentally, like that was one of my goals. In quarantine, I was really focused on, okay, being positive about practice and watching more film and just putting the extra foot in, because it's like, you can do this, you know, it's just really confidence. Like, I need to support myself now. Like, everybody's doing this, I gotta do it for myself now. So
what role has your family played in your success?
Everything. I love my family. Like, if you don't know me, then my family is just one thing that like holds me down. Like, if I don't believe myself, they're the ones who are gonna believe in me. So they always, you know, encourage me. Even though when I first started track, they didn't know too much. They was always at my track meets, always supporting me. Like, you know, they didn't know I needed spikes when I first started. So we got spikes. They definitely believed in me. And I feel like a lot of people don't get that. And I'm very blessed to have that, because, you know, I wouldn't probably be here without them, you know, without their support and their encouragements and stuff like that. So
what kind of advice would you give to someone who looks up to you? And what's the best advice that you've ever gotten?
The advice I would give is to have fun. But when I'm in a good mood, I'm happy, you know, and I'm focused, I tend to do better. So definitely enjoy the moment too, because, you know, this is a one-in-a-lifetime chance. Like, not everybody makes it to nationals and stuff like that. Not everybody's able to do hurdles and track and stuff like that. So when you have the opportunity, definitely grab onto it and hold on as long as you can. And I would say stay patient and believe in God. You know, I'm not a patient person. I want something right then and now, but, you know, sometimes it's about the process and stuff like that. And I'm always praying. I'm always thanking God, because without him, I wouldn't be here.
That's going to wrap up this week's segment of the track athletes. We are so excited for them. We'll keep you posted. March 11th, be looking online for any type of updates from our favorites, Matthew Bowling, Anna Hall, Jasmine Moore. We're so excited for them. We're wishing them the best of luck. And it's kind of nice. Just be okay with the Zoom calls. I know it's kind of nice though, because I can just wear my nice t-shirt and then I still have my pajamas on and my socks. And I get to do it from the comfort of my own bed, and you can see my little stuffed animals. So it's kind of exciting. But yeah, we're looking forward to the rest of the week. Next week, we have the equestrian ladies up. Their SEC championship is going to be held at the end of March. So we're wishing them the best of luck, and we'll get to talk to them a little bit about where's their heads at next week. Bye, guys.